In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Perfect. What's the deal, Panther fans? It's your boy, Tony Dunn, a.k.a. The Professor. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast, the longest-running Panthers podcast on YouTube's, the internets, or wherever you listen to podcasts, because on Tuesday night, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m., we're 9:04 tonight. It's a rarity, though. But we're chopping up the latest Panthers news and opinions, and we want you to be a part of the show. The number's 252-228-5098. We got a fun show for you tonight. Darnold throws darts as OTAs begin, and I got to tell you, it's been a slow. Well, look, the draft, the culmination of draft, the anticipation of the draft, and then you get your draft picks, and we're trying to figure out who these guys are, and then all of a sudden, there is a dearth of news. One of my friends says this, is you're just hoping that you're not hearing about arrests at this point of the year, and we have been dying for some Panthers news, and I got to tell you, today we got to see some football side boob. That's right. OTAs began yesterday. We wanted to see the full boobs, but we got to see the side boob today and yesterday as we start to see a few clips of these new Panthers and some of the older Panthers, maybe not even old. Yeah, the kind of the guys that we've know their names, but we're starting to see a little information and things trickle that are just wetting the beak a little bit. So I'm happy that we have a little tangible football talk, and I'm going to talk about it with my man Cody Lashney, my co-host, the producer of the show. Welcome back, my friend.
Tony Dunn. There's nowhere else I'd rather be on a Tuesday night, my friend. It doesn't matter what time of year. It doesn't matter what kind of beer I might be drinking, which I'm not drinking a beer right now. But Tony Dunn, listen, man, there's been Panther football. Now, it hasn't been a football game like we wish it would, but we've got some OTAs, man. We finally are starting to get a look at some of our brand new young players and what they're going to be able to do for us this season. We've got a ton to talk about, man. But, hey, this wouldn't be what it is if we didn't have the best Panther fans in all of YouTube. I'm talking about Kevin Boshoven, Bob Eugene, the Bat Daddy in the chat room. Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel says it better be a good show tonight because he's staying for the whole thing. QT0, Chuck from Elizabeth City, 10 Tizzy, Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
Smash the thumbs, subscribe to the show, be a part of it by jumping in the conversation. And my man CK, the master of all streams, is jumping in tonight. Welcome back to the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Man, just happy to have something to look at, Panther related. It's nice to have a bit of a change of pace from the norm, and so I think we're getting a little bit of that with what we've seen the past couple of days, and then we'll have another drought of Panthers news.
Yeah, you're right. We're like 3 days away from a mega drought or whatever. Yeah. I don't know how long. It's a bigger drought,
in my opinion, than what we had since the draft. Like because what it is, we have the training camp begins the end of July.
Yeah, that's when it usually. It's like the third week or you're right. It's right in there.
So we have like almost 2 months.
Yeah, I've been diving back into Game of Thrones, and it feels like the Stark words: "Winter is coming. The long drought is coming."
Yes,
you're going back into Game of Thrones, homie.
Yeah, I read all the Fire and Blood book, and there are rumors that the Winds of Winter is coming out soon. So I'm thinking I might just go back into the world of Westeros.
Yeah, smart. A friend of the show, also known as the Bat Daddy, shared his. Actually, he didn't share it. It was another. I was gonna say, Greg had always been saying he would give me his HBO password. I was trying to he didn't really give it to me. It wasn't Greg. It was another one of my friends. But still, I got that so I could go back and watch that. Right now, you know what? I'm rewatching the show Ozark again.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, great.
One of my favorite Netflix shows. By the way, shout out to Riz B. This is the first time joining us. Appreciate you joining us, man. We're gonna talk some
welcome to
football.
Yeah, welcome to the latest Panthers or the longest running Panthers podcast. The way we do it here, by the way, is that we're not reporters. We are chopping up the latest news and opinions from the fan perspective. And sadly, that earliest news this week or yesterday, probably, I would think the most significant just in kind of Panthers world happened to be with a sad story when it comes to Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
So this past week, he posted this yesterday on the 24th. This past week has been exceptionally challenging for our family. As many of you know, our son TJ has faced serious heart issues since birth. TJ has already undergone 3 open heart surgeries and survived with a modified heart for the first 8 years of his life. He continued. Unfortunately, it seems his heart is reaching its end. We are currently working through the process to determine our next steps, which ultimately could lead to a heart transplant. He follows with, "We are so thankful for the incredible support we've seen over the past years. We've received world-class care at Levine Children's Hospital. We're so appreciative of their amazing team." So, we've heard, and if you've been a Panthers fan, look, is that interestingly last week, or I guess it would be unimportant at this point. But last week, people were just talking about if people could change numbers and should we retire Greg Olsen's jersey? Right? Is that that was a conversation that last week, and this week, sadly, it's taken a turn back to what many Panther fans have been familiar with or known. And look, Greg Olsen has been lauded. He's had a very intimate relationship with Levine's Children's Hospital not only because of what has happened with his kids, but that
he's been a large part of it for sure.
Yeah, that was a big important part about that, beginning that relationship between the two. But we heard the stories in the past of Jerry Richardson flying the kids on the airplane, or the family. Maybe he flew Greg Olsen back. It was something. It's been a while at this point.
Greg, so that way he could be there for one of his surgeries.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. So this is a very sad story, and sadly one that it needs to be taught and thought about. And again, I think that one, you pray for their family if you pray, and on top of that, you just you hope that that this child has the best, the opportunity to continue to live. And for someone who started this podcast in Joe Riolano, right? My co-host Joe Riolano, who is sitting there right now waiting on a kidney transplant for the second time in his life, right? Is that one, you're thankful for every day that you have and these opportunities. I would think they are, right? And I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, or so you don't want to squander today, but you also are hopeful and believing and praying for the opportunity for a continued life, and if that requires a scientific intervention or whatever it may be. So it shows you this is that, or to me it reminds me, maybe it doesn't show me, it reminds me that despite all the benefits and opportunities that maybe Greg Olsen's had in his life, the successes on the field, financially, whatever it may be, is a still a person that's dealing with the struggle of humanity. And this has got to be one of the hardest struggles you can deal with. A child, right? You're watching your, very difficult. So my prayers and I actually don't like the term thoughts and prayers a lot, right? Because unless you're really going to go and actually pray for the person, I don't want to celebrate it,
empty calories. Yeah.
Yeah, I super hope that whatever we can do is if you pray, if not, or whatever. I'm thinking about this. At least we're talking about it here, and I hope that their family. At first, I hope this young man, TJ, finds an opportunity to continue to live.
Yeah, and a lot is made about the Panthers being a small market team. And, we're not that big of a city, not that big of a market. But because of that, Panthers players really do form, I feel, a stronger bond with a lot of the community here in Charlotte and in the Carolinas in general, man. And, knowing everything that Greg and his family have been through and, how much we love him as a Panther player, both on and off the football field. Like, there is almost nothing that could happen to make me not love Greg Olsen from now until the rest of time, man. So him and his family, your heart definitely goes out to him. But hey, man, TJ, hey, when you've been through 3 open heart surgeries, that's a tough kid, okay? He's definitely got the blood of Greg Olsen, so he's a strong kid, and we're going to be thinking about him and praying for the Olsen family, Panther fans. So keep pounding, thoughts and prayers up for Greg and his little son, TJ.
Can you see the comments still? They're dead on my end.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here, I'm going to refresh. Go ahead, CK. Oh, wait. Maybe they're coming through.
Yeah,
now.
we got
CK.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's tough because you have this admiration for a guy like Greg Olsen, and then you see, that it seems like they're on the other side of this, and then to have that happen, man. As anybody who's a parent, this is your worst fear, is having something like this that's going to plague the life of your child, not just like a small moment in their life, but the entire life.
All right.
It's heartbreaking, and you can only really hope for the best. But yeah, I mean, it's one of these things where I'm really rooting for a successful future. He's too young, man. I mean, 8 years old? I mean,
yeah,
it's sad. It's sad. What is sad is to just remember or to learn about this is that when we make such a big deal out of a drop pass or whatever, I mean, you can pick anything in life that you get pissed off, somebody cutting you off, this and that. And it's an old man saying kind of thing, but at least you have your health type thing. Yeah. Is you kind of don't know what you have until you don't got it type thing. And it is that ultimately, like at least I do. I personally, sometimes I get so enamored with people's success, popularity, their financial success. And you almost continue to fixate. And it's a bad thing as a Catholic to even say is that, you fixate on that being a measurement of happiness and fulfillment and this and that. And then you realize that, and this is where the world and people's hardships continue to remind us at all times and sadly, it's a sad reminder a lot of times is that those are ultimately meaningless without things like family, health, like love, I mean, these greater truths and greater opportunities. So look, is Anita, for me, I think I wanted to bring it up. I haven't tweeted a lot. I retweeted this stuff. I just don't want at any point this to be about us, like making sure we have, is that ultimately is that Greg Olsen's family has gone through a lot. And they are, like you said, you think a lot of times the news cycle feels like it's on the back end and these people are still dealing with it, where they're still dealing with doctor's visits and questions and so God bless this young man TJ, and who I'm going to do is you got to hope that he doesn't have to hope is that if my mom shows up in this chat room, she will put this much. She's on the rosary prayer train, bro. Like she would get a warrior, an army of nuns going, man. Mama, I got a card. How about this? And you think I'm joking? Is that today I got a card in the mail from my church that says a mass will be said in your honor on February 20th, 2022, sent by my mother. Like
Nice.
she was like looking for an open date where you can reserve a mass for somebody, and she's like, "Boop, got it. February 20th. You're going for you, homie."
Hey man, the prayer machine never hurts. It don't matter if you're a believer or not. Just be accepting of good love and good vibrations that are coming your way. I know the Greg Olsen family is. Hey man, the power of prayer moves people, man. It moves all kinds of things, regardless of your belief. I think there's some truth to that. So,
well, my mom will motivate Mother Mary to be praying for you. Well, she says the rosary like it's the business, and you know what? And she's still getting me. She's like,
"Hey man, listen. All my aunts are extremely devout Catholic, man. So trust me, I know what it's like to get
I'm ready. I'm like, why ain't you got the veil on, Mom? Why ain't you wearing the black veil at this point? Like, that's what I want to know. All right. Yeah. So OTAs began yesterday, and today we started to see some video leak out, right? And some different things. Actually, and one of the things that I heard that was, well, what have you heard? I saw a little DB action. Right.
Yeah.
I saw is the first thing I saw was this JC Horn. Why don't we put that up? Is the first thing I saw coming out of this was the JC Horn. And tonight the video production is going to be a little janky, folks. But JC Horn getting the business done.
So by the way,
gotta unmute your. There you go.
No, I know. So a lot of people were wondering who JC was picking off in this play. That was
the first thing. Pat Coltrane said, "I want to see who threw that."
All right. So then look, and then John Jenkins in the chat says, "I have it on good word that it was actually Will Greer who threw that interception to 8. Trust me, it wasn't PJ Walker. That was Will Greer.
That's the PJ Walker fan club, bro.
But hey, but you know what, man? That is right.
Witness the Walker runner. Don't trust that.
John,
don't
you're
trust
overruled,
that,
bro. John, you gotta get out of here, bro. You have no idea, bro. But yeah, man. Listen,
but everybody, look. The first thing I saw Pat Coltrane say up to something effects like, "I need to see who threw that." Because why? Why are people asking that, Cody?
Well, man, because people are, wondering about Sam Darnold. And but listen, well, let me stick with JC Horn for a sec first. Somebody put out on Twitter, they put out, what's reasonable expectations for JC Horn this season? And I said, look, man, I know that this might seem like a lot to some people, but not only do I expect Horn to be CB1 at the start of the season, I think it's going to be a shutdown corner this year. I think we're going to use him the way that the Rams
rookie of the year conversation.
Yeah, like defensive rookie of the year. Hell, hey, you know what? Here, listen. At this point in time, we in Panther Nation are just going to believe for the best. Okay, so no, in my mind, JC might be in the running for defensive player of the year. Okay. We're going to go all the way. We're going to run this ship to the ends of the earth. JC Horn is a shutdown corner, and this year he's going to put the whole NFL on notice, man. I genuinely believe that. And I also think that, and this is a good time to play this video too, I also think that our boy Dante Jackson is going to thrive because of JC.
Why was he looking the wrong damn way?
Fast players allow other fast players to play even faster. And that's what I'm loving, dude. And, I even thought about this before the show. I'm kind of thinking that Dante Jackson might have a career year himself.
He is. It's a contract year. We have said this over and over on this show, is that we don't know or at least I've said it. We don't know what to think of Dante, right? We got very excited about his potential in his rookie year. The ball hawk skills were evident from the beginning. He was a playmaker from day one. He was so fast, all of this. But a lot of players, year two, is a difficult year. But a lot of us were sitting there looking, is it the team? Is it this and that? Now what? We're in year 4. Now we're in year 4, the final year, I believe, of his contract.
Yeah.
And he was a second-round pick, so I think they go through 4 years. Last year was a year where he started to look better, as in like more polished, but then had problems and struggled with it. Not struggled. That's not even a word. He just had some injury. He had injuries. So this year is a year he should be. We're expecting, and he's expecting to put it all together. If he does, he has an opportunity to get some money. If he has a year like he had last year, the year before, he's not going to get no money.
Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel says Dante might be good, but his toes are so bad. Cody could play better.
Come
Damn
on.
you, Joey. I see what you did there, bro. He beat me to it. He says even I see that. I'm not going to speak on how strong my toes are or are not. I'll leave that to your imagination, what I do with my toes in my spare time, dude. But listen here. I really do think that when you add a cornerstone piece like J.C. Horn to the equation, I think we're going to see the best out of everyone, man. Dante Jackson, A.J. Boye, even as a bigger, stronger corner. You know, I'm interested to see where they decide to put him. Who we put in the nickel corner position, who we put at CB2. I'm interested in all of that, man. I think our defensive backfield is going to be much improved just by the sheer presence of J.C. Horn. I could glow about JC for the whole podcast if you ask me to. I think.
Oh God!
I think he was a dog.
Enough.
And hey, hold on. Can you give me a little bit of credit? I'm a Clemson fan, and I can't stand the South Carolina Gamecocks, dude. But yet here I am bigging up JC Horn and how incredible he is, man. Because he is.
You should be, you know. And we also, and one of the things I keep coming and circling back to is that this kid, his whole life. He's playing corner, and his dad was an NFL wide receiver.
Yeah.
So think about the tutelage you have at all the backyard. It's one thing where your dad's trying to teach you to be the receiver, right? Because then that comes in. It's like, oh, well, this is how I do it. And then you're like, well, this is like how I do, you know, and there becomes this kind of you who's better. But a wide receiver dad versus a cornerback kid, or vice versa. Imagine even switch it, right? Is they're learning from one of the best. And Joe Horn won't know schlub. It was like I mean, I'm sure people are arguing he's kind of borderline Hall of Fame type player. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, is that he's one of those guys that wouldn't get in, but is for a Saints fan. They're saying, hey, what do you think? Could he? Could this and that? Think about that tutelage, that experiential knowledge. And we all know his footwork, his athleticism. This guy has he has everything. Like, he has the pedigree, he has the skill set. And I believe, and I have not been able to listen to all the clips from Matt Rule after the practice because of, you know, just from today. But I believe that he mentioned, and maybe it was yesterday, that he continues to circle back to J.C. Horn allowing the defense to be able to do different things.
Yeah. Yeah. But listen, can we talk about what I really want to talk about, man?
Yeah, let's do it.
Can we just do it? Look, let me play. And listen, it's very brief, okay? It doesn't last very long. But what you see, I want you to let your imagination run wild, Panther fans.
Back one more
Isn't
time.
it weird? Isn't it weird to see DJ Moore not having to turn around to catch a pass that's thrown behind him? Like, he had to put his hands.
Can you run it back one more time? Can we run it back? I want to put this out. DJ's wearing a different number in that video. Wearing the number 2, the deuces.
We didn't talk about it. I love it, man. I love it. I think this is
why. Why do you love it? If own the DJ Moore jersey, is your jersey cooler or not? That should be the poll question. if you own a jersey of a player who changed his number, in fact, I want you guys to get in there in the chat room, tell me the answer to this. You can get on the Discord. You can call in at 252-228-5098. If you bought the Christian McCaffrey, in fact, Cody CK, you got a special Christian McCaffrey jersey. You got like the 100. What is it? The 100.
Yeah, the 100th year, the NFL 100.
If he changes his number to 5, yeah, is your jersey cooler or less cool?
Bro, I think it'll be cooler, but I don't think there's a chance in hell that he does. You know how much he would have to pay? Like
What do you think DJ had to pay? He had to pay some. Not as much as Christian.
Not nearly as much as Christian McCaffrey did. Like, think about how much stock they have on Christian McCaffrey's jerseys.
Yeah, but it's probably like 20 grand.
Did you hear his interview?
That's probably what it is.
No. Did you guys hear his interview that he did today?
No.
That was the one. That was the only interview that I did hear out of all the ones that happened today. I didn't hear Sam, but I heard Christian. And Christian may still change his number back to 5. The only reason that he didn't do it this year is because he saw how much money it would have cost him to buy out all those 22s.
Oh, so he could tell them to not buy
Well, yeah, so apparently I don't
it'd probably
understand.
be like 50 grand. There could only be like 50 grand.
No, dude, I bet you it's way more than that.
It's only in the Panther store, I think.
But
right?
dude,
or is it the NFL store?
NFL store.
The NFL store. So yeah,
how
dude,
much do you think it would cost for him to change his number?
$1 million.
Dude, he's one of the most popular running backs in the NFL, for
Shut
sure.
up. No.
Why wouldn't it pass $1 million?
We need.
Why wouldn't it pass $1 million? I mean, it's one of the most famous
because there ain't that much. They
football.
don't have that much fucking. There ain't that many people buying the jerseys off the website. It's not like he's got to buy all the jerseys out of Hibbets or something.
But this is what it's weird though, because they're making it sound like next year it's not going to be as expensive for him. That's what I'm saying. He actually left it open for him to potentially change that number in the future. But he said that for this year, he's still 22. But it might still happen in the future. But to answer your original question, I think it's dope. Because let's say you bought an original DJ Moore jersey. If DJ balls out this year and goes for over 1,000 receiving yards and over 15 touchdowns, then you get to say, oh, bro, I bought that original DJ Moore and I've got the proof. Look at the number. You know, it's like I had this before DJ Moore blew up, you know? So I think it's dope. You know, but now I was kind of against the whole number change thing at first, but now I'm with it, man. Like having numbers, like low numbers at receiver, that's what you see all throughout college and high school. So why should it be any different in the NFL? I'm for it. Even Brian Burns.
I don't have a problem with the
9.
number. I'm just like, man, do I buy? My question is, and I'm lucky right now. The only person that I have as an active player on the roster or jersey is Shank Thompson. So, like, if he changes his number, I'm not gonna be like, well, should I buy a new Shank Thompson? Don't worry. And this year is the year of Shaq. It's got to be the year of Shaq Thompson. If it's not, got a lot of things to say.
Were you angry when Thomas Davis changed his number? I guess it wasn't really a big time player when he was.
When did Thomas Davis change his number?
Well, he was
when he went from. Yeah, that must have been in like the year 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he wasn't that number long enough,
and he changed positions. It's not like he just changed. Like, I mean, it's not like Tim Tebow is going to wear the same number he wore when he was playing quarterback. You know,
they
he
said
had to
that he
change
could
his
potentially.
number.
Dude,
Really?
You know he's already like one of the top selling jerseys, bro. Like,
no, of course,
dude,
because
if you're Tim Tebow,
but it's only a top selling jersey for a moment, not like a top selling.
But it don't matter. This has already been successful for Tim Tebow, dude. Even if he fucking sucks, he just sold how many jerseys?
I don't hate against him.
Balling.
Yeah, All right, so the OT. Actually, let's go ahead and get into this. I really do need to say it. Well, first, go ahead and smash the thumbs up and be a part of the show. C3 Panthers Podcast, longest running Panthers podcast. But don't forget that the C3 Panthers Podcast is powered by Volta. If you are a homeowner in North or South Carolina, you can cut the cord with your energy company. That's right. You can cut the cord and go solar. Take advantage of federal and state tax credits with no money down. Right? I mean, you can become energy independent in a way that, Cody, I'm going to ask you this. Do you remember that time where your power went out and you had to leave the podcast? It was just like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What happened?
I do remember that. Dude, a transformer down the street had a malfunction and it was off until like 4 a.m.
Sounds like maybe
if
something
you
else
would
have
have
worked.
Yeah, maybe a Volta.
Yeah.
You could have been solar powered. Imagine if you were energy independent
I
with
should
no
have
money
been.
down. Add equity to your home. Take advantage of those tax credits and do something good for the earth.
Can we get him up in here, Virginia, please?
I know. Kevin Brown, solar consultant for Volta. You can reach him at 704-215-3373. That's 704-215-3373. kbrown at avolta.us. Be sure to tell him you're a Panthers fan and you heard about it on the C3 Panthers podcast. He will take extra care of you that way.
Before you go on, before we jump into another topic, I don't want to jump off this yet because I know that there's still a lot of people that aren't Sam Darnold believers. And listen, this is what I'm going to tell you, bro. If you don't want to believe in Sam, that's fine. Because I have said on this podcast numerous times that he has to prove it, man. He has to earn it. Like, we're not going to be patting this dude on the back if he's out there throwing interceptions. And, like, yeah, we know that. We know that Sam has to prove it. But, damn it, you can't tell me that I can't be excited about the potential of this dude actually turning himself around and being a legitimate quarterback, man. Like, that is something that, to me, is well within the realm of possibility. And, dude, it's the season for believing. I'm fucking believing. I'm on Team Sam Darnold. And then you have Josh Klein going on Twitter and talking about his exact words, no arguing with the fact that Darnold throws darts. He was definitely showing that today. A lot of zip on almost every ball. Just a matter of whether he puts them in the right spots when facing a real defense. And yes, that last part, he has to prove it. But guys, every single player damn near that has left Adam Case has gone on to thrive somewhere else. Tony, you remember that guy on Twitter? I know he used to annoy the shit out of you, Marxist Panther. And
yeah.
But listen, that dude, for all the shit that he would talk about other quarterbacks, when he was still with the Jets, like early on, he was saying that Sam Darnold was another version of Patrick Mahomes. You just wouldn't know it because he was with the Jets. Okay, those are his words, not mine.
Wow.
But listen, I'm of the mindset that we have quite literally the perfect set of circumstances and pieces around Sam Darnold that would allow him to take that next step that we didn't come anywhere close to seeing with the New York Jets. So I'm pumped. He has all the arm talent that Teddy Bridgewater never had. He's been practicing with the guys already, with McCaffrey and a few of the other receivers, DJ Moore. Listen, I am hopeful for Sam Darnold, and I feel like we have every reason to want to be hopeful. Like, it's not like we're trying to project Teddy Bridgewater or a type of player like Teddy Bridgewater into something that he isn't, Like, this guy is a much better physical prospect.
That's where I want to bring this up. I've got a controversial thing to say. And maybe it's not controversial. It's the elephant in the room. There's 3 white dudes on this podcast. Right?
I mean,
and
fine.
Well, all right.
Well, I mean,
right. We can debate about what all of this and that. Like, I don't like the classification being white, but then if you say that, the people they'll also say, well, that's what you get to say when you're fucking white, and you get, and so look, we're not gonna go in.
Check your privilege, Tony.
Right. And look, it's like I'm okay with all right, like I understand your statements, whether or not, who knows. Anyway, it seems odd. Well, look, as we're so pro Cam for so long, at least I know I was. I know this podcast was, and pretty much everybody, we didn't really have anybody, and maybe you can raise your hand right now and say you want that pro Cam if you want to, but maybe I'm speaking wrong for you guys. But there was this kind of Teddy Bridgewater becomes a divisive subject for a long time. It continues to be a divisive subject. And we'll have to talk about him no matter what tonight, sadly. I'm worried and concerned that it started to seem like there was a certain group of people and not a certain race that was pulling for Teddy Bridgewater. Right. It's not Teddy, but is like our lines kind of even like if we're rooting for Sam Darnold to be a success, and there's a lot of other people out there saying he's going to suck, this and that. Are there any, like, is that a subject that even relates to this? And I don't know how to broach it.
You jump on this first, okay, and then I'll give my opinions.
I don't know how to say other than this, is that I don't want us to be like, is this like all of a sudden the mantle of pro white quarterback versus black? And I know it's not like that for me because Cam's my favorite quarterback of all time. I still think he might blow up this year and this and that. But it seems like these lines of you're pro Teddy and anti-Darnold, if we jump on the anti-Darnold, the people that have been pro Teddy are so anti-Darnold on their own.
Well,
so I don't know how to say it.
Well, and so listen, I mean, obviously, all you can do is take one. I can only speak for myself, right? And certainly. I can only hope that people take me at my word in that, like, to me, okay, I obviously love Cam Newton. I obviously, in my opinion, he is my favorite. Like, he is my most influential football player of my lifetime because he caused me to love football in a way that I never had before, man. Like, Cam Newton is my number one forever, bro. But but outside of Cam, I am only looking at skill level. And your skin color doesn't ingratiate me towards you one fucking iota. Like, and I feel like a lot of people, with Teddy Bridgewater wanted to support him, one, because he was a Panther. Two, just being honest, maybe you wanted to support a black quarterback, and that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. I just look at talent, and to me, talent doesn't discriminate. There's some badass black dudes playing quarterback. There's some badass white dudes playing quarterback, and I just want a dog, man. I want someone who, when the ball is in their hand, when the game is on the line, that they're going to nut up, and they're going to fucking go out there and put the team on their back. And I don't care how they look. I just want them to play fucking badass Panther football. And I think Sam has more of a potential to do that than Bridgewater ever did. And it has nothing to do with the amount of melanin in their skin.
I would agree. I mean, I think the problem that's tough with this argument is, like, if you were, and here's the thing too, and luckily I don't know if any of you guys did. I never once was criticized in this regard, but I feel like there was a group of people that were saying that people didn't like Teddy Bridgewater because of that. And, like I said, we were very, very critical of Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think that we had a lot of issues with the accusations there, but it's the reality is 100%. Teddy Bridgewater didn't lose this job because the color of his skin. He lost this job because he was not a good quarterback, period. That's the bottom line. And now we're in a position where we can move forward, and hopefully Sam Darnold's it. If Sam Darnold isn't it, I hope PJ Walker gets a shot. Like, it has zero to do with that. Like, if we have so many question marks, but I'm definitely hopeful Sam Darnold comes out and throws the critics to the side, similar to how Cam used to do. But we'll see, man. It's definitely not a matter of that.
Throw AJ Lindsay's comment up here. He says this: as a black man, I cheer for Cam, not because of the color of skin, but because he was a great football player and he was a Panther.
Yeah.
I couldn't root for Teddy because he wasn't a good QB. And here's
Fantastic comment,
it really is. It's really a great comment. If there's a criticism for me about the way I approach Teddy, is that, and look, if you want me to be straight up honest, like just full candor, is that if you want to come out me about being hypercritical about Teddy Bridgewater, you should start with he wasn't Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Because he was not Cam Newton. Like,
Facts.
I will give you that. I will give you that right off the bat. Because he's not Cam Newton, there was a certain bitterness that came with it.
It was also hot off the heels of Cam, too.
Right. But no, look, is in here. And again, is that I promise you, I'm not trying to get overly excited about Sam Darnold.
I am.
You know what? Maybe it's okay to get overly excited about him right now
Until
we see some games. Until we see some games, right? But until the ultimate, and I've continued to say this, is go back and check the tape and this and that, or whatever you need to do to see if I'm consistent. It's not about Teddy's floor. It was about his ceiling.
Yeah.
And with Darnold, the question is about his floor, because we think the ceiling is higher, right? So is that right now? Is that the look? Is I will if Darnold comes out and shits the bed for 6 games, don't you worry, folks. Yeah. I'll be on that Justin Fields motherfucking
and by the way, dude, like, listen, sell me the fucking snake oil, bro. I'm believing until I have a reason not.
We don't have a choice at this point.
Dude, right now,
we better jump on the Sam Darnold train for at least a minute.
Dude, and not only am I on the Sam Darnold train, I'm pumping all the coal into that bitch, baby. Let's go.
This can't be true. QT0 said this. Please tell me this is true.
Julio Jones to Green Bay.
Is this true?
I'll check the
Cody Lesney will go fucking nuts.
I'm looking. I can't find anything. I've been looking for that.
Yeah, come on.
Yo, QT just starting shit. He just wants us to play his call, bro. He already said he got the 707 area code. He wants us to play his call now.
Oh gosh.
That's what that is, bro. But listen, but that's my last word. I'm believing in Sam Darnold to the fucking moon, bro. Like, I'm on this team.
We have to. It's like Doge. Sam Darnold is the Dogecoin of.
You want to know why? I just want to be excited.
What cryptocurrency is
football? There's the Darnold coin. That's that Darnold coin.
Oh, shit. All right. I'll ask you this. I know you're right. They did try it, and that I just set myself up for that. Is what is it? They called him the darn coin, whatever. What is it again?
Well, but I call it the Darnold coin. Yeah, man.
If Teddy Bridgewater was a cryptocurrency, what would he be? And if Sam Darnold was a cryptocurrency, what would he be? We need Greg the Bat Daddy to answer that. Is that, come on, CK, you might be able to answer that. Who's Doge? Who's Ethereum? Who's Litecoin?
Ethereum, I would put is Christian McCaffrey.
What does that mean? All right, explain why.
But he said,
I don't know.
Yeah, explain that. But he also said, "Who's Teddy Bridgewater, though? Which
coin is he?
If Teddy Bridgewater was a crypto."
This is a good question. If you guys would have had the time to think about it.
Yeah, right.
No, it's not the worst one imaginable. It's like the one that is worth 4 cents now and will be worth 3 cents in 3 years.
I don't. Yeah, that's that's right. It's not one that's going to be that. Here's the thing. It's not. I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. because whether or not it's Doge or not I don't think it's important. I think it's a matter of whether you bought high and had to sell low, and that's what we had to do. Like Teddy Bridgewater you bought Teddy Bridgewater at 80 cents, right? Before Doge decided to, tumble down to 25 cents.
Right. Okay, I got
you. So, whereas Doge is where it should be right about now, right? It's still better than what it was. It's not the worst. A lot of people won on Doge, but Teddy Bridgewater was selling us his Doge at 80 cents, and the Panthers lost.
Can we just say limp coin? Because for whatever he was packing, it was sure limp. Let's just say that, right?
Oh,
so limp coin.
What about this?
Don't know, gosh, me. You're the one that made that a thing. So
I got. You're right. No, you're right, and I was. And that it's not a wrong. It's not a wrong answer. I'm with it. It's Teddy is GameStop. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. I didn't hear a ton of audio. We'll try to track some down. If there's some audio you guys want to listen to on the show, you can drop it in the chat room and just drop a link to the tweet. We can play it. But I did hear that Christian McCaffrey was asked about the day, and what he kind of cited was that the team was responding to Darnold's urgency. And an interesting point to me about this was, at least, as I saw DJ Moore there, Christian McCaffrey was there. I have questions about who we didn't see, who we haven't seen. Why aren't we seeing them yet? And why can't we talk about them? But there was a sense of urgency, and Darnold, I guess, learning the system, this and that. Christian McCaffrey speaking on Darnold. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I think it was the one time in the entire interview Christian McCaffrey didn't seem like he was he didn't seem like he was, I don't know. I'm hoping that it's just me overlooking into it, but he said the same thing 3 times. He said his sense of urgency, his sense of urgency, his sense of urgency. He said that 3 times in that same question. And then later on, somebody asked the exact same question about his, Darnold and commit. He's like, oh yeah, he's, we like Darnold. His sense of urgency is, it's clear that they have been coached in what they want to say about Darnold. But it was the one time in that entire interview where Christian McCaffrey did not feel like he was in control, of what he wanted to say. Because everything else, he was if you watched his in Cody, this is the only one you watched.
Yeah.
If you watched it, Christian McCaffrey was a freaking pro at dodging the questions at the beginning. He said the most generic questions, and he said them so quickly that nobody had anything that they could say back. It was amazing. And the first time that they talk about Darnold, it felt like he just rambled a little more than he had prior.
Okay, so then say what you're implying there. Do you think that means that maybe CMC's dancing around the fact that it's like, oh, this guy's not as good as you're hoping he is. You might want to temper your expectation. What does that mean to you? Was that just Christian fumbling with his words in an interview that he hadn't done in a while?
Not fumbling. It was I think it's the opposite of fumbling is what CK is suggesting.
Yeah, he was saying a recite. I don't think that
rehearsed.
I think that number one, it could go either way. Either he couldn't be critical, obviously, because he's a teammate, or they didn't want to overly praise him, because then all of a sudden now there's this pressure of expectation for Sam Darnold more so than there already is.
Urgency is a great word. Look, it explains exactly what we're trying to get here. Is we can either talk about that's the thing, is you can shit on Darnold from moment one. Mm-hmm. You can call him the savior, but you could say this is Darnold's got an opportunity and he knows he can't fuck it up.
Yeah.
The Panthers have an opportunity, and if it doesn't work, they fucked it up. No one can fuck this up right now. That's the kind of thing is that, to me, that continues to come back to this, is that if you want to give some real shit and shade on the Matt Rule regime, it is Teddy Bridgewater at this point. Yes, there was certain success, But the financial part, which now they get to continue to cast that shade on Marty Hurney in the absence because of the bad contract, not Teddy Bridgewater for the season. It was Teddy Bridgewater, the contract. That was the true problem. But now you get a new GM. You got the new head coach. You got this new opportunity. You envision it. You go and make a move for Sam Darnold. Justin Fields falls past you, this and that. You better be. Everybody's got an urgency to them.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's a great point that it is almost a rehearsed moment. And maybe it's not even rehearsed as much as the talking point that is true. The talking point is true. And I tell you this, you ever wanted to see a dang, let me see if hold on. Let me see. I got to share my screen. You ever seen an urgent hand wave? Here you go. This is what urgency looks like. That's the urgency wave. Look at this wave here. It's the goofiest wave ever. Bill Voth is saying, here comes Darnold. He's just like, hey, guys, he don't give a who's he with right here?
I don't know. Probably one.
Who is that?
Probably
Who
one
is
of
with?
the physical training staff, probably.
But
by the way,
he's tall. Look at how tall and big he is. I'm excited about his age. That again, look, is that we come back to this. You can say that we have rose-colored glasses, whatever it is. It's not about that. It's about the ceiling that Sam Darnold could be. Whether he will be, whether he deserves to be that, whether us thinking of that rationally is a real point. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Is that ultimately he represents opportunity. 24 years old, all the skill set that you want, theoretically, the size, the this, the that. And now you picked him. So you know what? You don't fucking like him. Then you don't like what the Panthers did either. The Panthers picked his ass, not me.
Well, and also, like, his destiny is in his hands now. Sam Darnold. Like, I mean, the fact that we have an offensive coordinator that turned Joe Burrow into the first pick in the draft. Sam Darnold has never had a quarterback coach that was worth a damn. Now he has the quarterback coach that helped Matthew Stafford and Deshaun Watson become the players that they are on the football field. Now, he has a bunch more weapons around him. Look, shout out my brother, my Saints brother in the chat room, Jonathan Gotro. That's my blood brother, man. He's an LSU diehard. He says Terrace Marshall is the best kept secret in the draft, man.
I was just going to ask about this. Why ain't we heard about him?
Well,
why ain't we heard about him?
But
today?
Listen, a lot of guys, a few guys had some cleanup surgeries. I don't know if it was one of them, but I know I think Brian Burns was one of them, and Jeremy Chin had some cleanup surgery over the offseason. But Terrace Marshall didn't participate.
What are your thoughts on
How about this?
Colin?
Greg Little didn't participate either, which that to me is way more troublesome than Terrace Marshall not being there. Luke Charter says Sam has all the weapons now. It's all on him. There are no more excuses. And listen, that's 100%. He has the receivers. He has the coaching staff. And now he has, it's obvious that he has the physical talent. As you noted, he's a big dude, man. He's 6'4". So
I better hear about this. This is what I want to hear about. I want to hear, and so maybe he's not there.
Lynn says that it was injury related and that they're just being careful with Terrace.
Right, which he did have. He was doing this, so thank you for that. The other question is, where's Robbie Anderson at? And not that I care. Like, I'm not going to go crazy about this. It's almost, instead of us just seeing who is there, I want to know kind of who isn't there. That would be an interesting question. But before we do that, before we kind of continue to go, because we still have some other things to talk about going forward, be sure to subscribe to the show. The number is 252-228-5098. And I think we should remind that the cat calls are powered by Volta. The number there, as you can, well, don't forget, Volta is a place where you can own your own energy at a fixed rate for life with no money down. If you're a homeowner in North and South Carolina, they do cover the entire country, but our man Kevin Brown, K Brown at avolta.us, and the number is 704-215-3373. You can cut the cord with your energy company, and become energy independent, take advantage of those tax credits from the federal government and the state government. And you don't got to worry about your transistors going out, this and that, because the sun continues to work. Call Kevin Brown and remind him that you heard about it on the C3 Panthers podcast. He's a Panthers fan, and by telling, look, he listens to the podcast. Like that's how he listens to the podcast. So you say, look, homie, I heard about this opportunity to add equity with no money down to get a fixed rate for life through Volta. And I heard about it on the C3 Panthers podcast. He will take extra special care of you. Don't forget to mention that. Let's jump. Don't forget the pack calls. The cat calls are well, I won't say even sponsored. Is that here? I'm gonna play this video while we do it. The number is 252-228-5098.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Hey guys, Tyler from Roanoke, Virginia. I hope you all are doing well. Wanted to talk about Morgan Moses, the right tackle from the Washington football team that was just released a little while ago. And, you know, after talking about him, he may sign before this is aired Tuesday night. But, you know, he was a right tackle for the Washington football team his entire career, minus a few times he slid over to left tackle. You know, we do have Taylor Moton on the right side, but be interesting to see, you know, if we could get him from the left side. He would definitely be better than, I think, than anything we have right now. I mean, Trent Scott, really Greg Little, Cam Irving. So I think it'd be worth a shot. And he did play left tackle his entire senior year at the University of Virginia. So he does have experience, you know, via, you know, the college game, but I think that would be worth a shot. Very respectable tackle. I think he graded out at 80 last year by PFF. Very good run blocker. I think it'd be worth a shot with Morgan Moses. See what you guys think. Money-wise, contract-wise, I think he looked kind of what Alejandro Villanueva got from the Ravens. I think it was like 2 years, $14 million. So you look at about $7 million per. I don't know if we have the room on that. I hadn't really paid attention to our numbers, but again, Morgan Moses be worth a shot, I think, to see compared to what we got. And it also sounds like, you know, Matt Rule kind of likes Brady Christensen more as an elite guard, is what he kind of termed it. You know, give him a shot at tackle, but still think left tackle is a huge hole on the offensive line. All right, keep pounding, guys.
Man, I appreciate the call, and you're right about that. The left tackle continues to be an issue.
Yeah, the left tackle does continue to be an issue, but if Morgan Moses plays right, which that is what he said, right? Morgan Moses is the right tackle.
Yeah, he's a right tackle. He was a right tackle and a fixture of the Washington team's football's offensive line since 2015.
Yeah, he never missed a game or something crazy like that, right?
Has not missed a game, and one that Mel Mayock loved back in the day. Yeah. And was a 3rd or 4th round pick too. How about that?
Just like Taylor Moton. My thing is this though. So they tried are we trying out Moton at left tackle? That could be interesting. So in the season opener,
I saw this on Reddit. I was gonna put an image up. Have you seen the Panthers Reddit on this?
No. Why? Is there something on this specifically?
Let me see if I can do. Yeah. Look here. Let me put this. It's gonna change our. We'll probably have to listen to Cat Calls music until I can mute it before when I bring it back up. But look at this. This is on Panthers Reddit right now. Hold on. Let me take this banner down real quick. Moten at left tackle looks like he's working on a left side pass set here. So they're trying to that this is a great this is where I love the internet. These mugs found a still image and they're looking what leg is in front.
This is a good find, man. That really is a good find because that is certainly a left side pass set right there. And like listen, a lot of people don't remember that he actually played left tackle for us in one game in the season opener against the Dallas Cowboys, and I believe it was 2018. No, because that was either 18 or 17. We opened with the Cowboys. I think it was 18, and he played left tackle for us.
Really?
I thought, yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Go back and look at that game against the Dallas Cowboys at home. We opened the season, and Taylor Moten was playing left tackle. Now, opinions vary. Some people didn't think he played well at left tackle.
Look, this is somewhere that is.
Well, but I thought he played fantastic, though. Like even during the with that Cowboys game, I thought he did really well. And I got into an argument one time with Billy Marshall on Twitter about this very subject because I forget who said it, but one of those famous offensive linemen, it might have even been Joe Thomas. He said, like, trying to go from left tackle to right tackle is like trying to wipe your ass with your non-dominant hand. Like, it's
learned how to do it. I broke my dominant hand. I had to do that. That was
my point. In today's NFL, position versatility is everything. You have linebackers that can play safety. You have running backs that can play receiver. Like, you have quarterbacks that double as a running back. The very nature of the NFL is guys being able to have versatile skill sets. Let me put on the conspiracy theory tinfoil hat one more time. I kind of think that the Panthers are trying to get a contract done with Taylor Moten before this year starts. And I'm wondering if they're thinking, well, if we're going to pay Taylor that kind of money, let's just lock him up and pay him left tackle money and legitimately
they
make him
pay him right tackle and then make his ass play left tackle before we learn he's good. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if it doesn't work, put him back on the right. Shout out to Jermaine Gill, who said, "Oh, we're dueling on the comments." Go ahead. Jermaine Gill, thank you for the love bomb, as Cody calls him. The super chat. We're winning 10 games this year, and as we're talking about the call, was Tyler, right? That said this as he was talking about Morgan Moses. Interestingly, I just pulled up the Pro Football Talk, and look, Pro Football Talk is always the thinnest blog. I mean, it's like that's who I want to write for. Actually, I could not write for them. It's like I can only get 85 words. This is Ron Rivera was asked by Ryan Homler about why they let go of Morgan Moses. Nothing, and this is his quote, nothing other than we're just going in a different direction. We have an opportunity to get some young guys on the field. We went out and brought a veteran left tackle. So brought in a veteran left tackle. So we feel very comfortable with those decisions because players we have on our roster now. Washington signed Charles Leno Jr. to play left tackle and drafted Samuel Cosme in the second round. He said, ultimately, these moves made Moses expendable. They're very good players. They were good for us, Ron Rivera said. They'll continue to be good players in the league. We just feel it's an opportunity to get some young guys on the field. My buddy's a Washington football fan, and he was kind of torn about the decision to move on from Morgan Moses. I always get him backwards.
Morgan Moses, I believe.
Morgan Moses is that ultimately he cited how he had been one of the most kind of available players and consistent players on the line, and actually a decent one. Not great, but decent. For him, he thought it was a signal that potentially they were trying to free up that cap money to extend guys like Jonathan Allen, some different defensive players because Ron Rivera and I believe that Ron Rivera is trying to get that massive defense. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he does. That's what he does. He don't give. And this is just. I told my friend, who is this Charles Leno Jr. That's what I want to know. Is who the hell is he? And is he any? I'm gonna Google him right now. Charles Leno Jr. And is he worth a shit? He came from the Broncos. All right. Maybe he is. Maybe he's great. But I tell you this, if I know a Ron Rivera team,
excited about these types of players,
dude. If I know a Ron Rivera team, he will trot out a left-handed. What was his name? Something Bell, Byron Bell. He will trot out a left-handed Byron Bell, and he'll have a badass fucking defense.
Yeah,
he will. The Washington football team will have a badass defense. But they will always, man, he sacrifices on that offensive line. And maybe it's not just him. Maybe it's the front office that was in Carolina, this and that. But I tell you, this is a par move. It's like par for course to bring in Leno. Who is this? 29-year-old Leno was a 7th-round pick by the Bears in 2014. And he was with the Bears from that day until about a week and a half ago when the franchise when was this story written? 20. Yeah, so he's been with the Bears, but I just know the Bears for having a shitty offensive line too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like none of that really inspires me, to be honest. Like, well, I don't know. If I haven't heard about you until now, I have no reason to think that you're going to come in and like be some big deal on our football team.
It's not our football team, it's Washington's football team. What I'm saying is that I think Ron Rivera let go a decent player?
I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. I've been thinking of this. I was reading that Reddit thread, and I thought that might be a good conversation. Thinking that we drafted Brady Christensen, if they do feel comfortable. Let's say they feel more comfortable putting Christensen on the right side for whatever reason, because they feel that would benefit his abilities or traits more. And if they want to put Taylor Moton on the left side, it's not an experiment that I'm opposed to. I do understand the argument that you're taking our best offensive lineman at his best position and putting him somewhere different, like that's kind of a recipe.
I agree with that. It's like he's been doing good there, so let's just
there's
leave
no
it,
reason to move. Yeah, I get why you would say there's no reason to move him. I want to see Christensen worked into the rotation at some point this year. I want to see
Moton wants this opportunity though.
Wouldn't you?
He wants it. Look, he looks slim in that pick. He looks slim in that pick. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything that you could say about a right tackle and maybe Moton or the Darrell Williams of the world, is that they were just too heavy set guard type players to play left tackle, right? Is that maybe they could let it somehow it worked at right tackle. You could manage it, kind of that fierce, not that first step or whatever. Darrell Williams was always a guard to me, but he played right tackle okay at times. But once you put him on the left, you're like, up.
Well, and he's also one of those players that he was always better when you had Trey Turner next to him.
Yeah,
but then when he was on an island by himself, he would end up kind of shitting the bed. But then again, that was also another one of those players that went up to Buffalo and was a reasonably good player for them.
Yeah.
He
was reasonably good at times for us, but here's the thing. You don't want Taylor Moton to be a great right tackle and then move him to be the left and be a mediocre, shitty left tackle. It would be better to have him as a great right tackle or a good to great right tackle, try it. But if you don't really believe in it, don't force a square peg through a round hole.
Yeah, I would say don't fit a square peg into a round hole. But also, I would say don't be afraid to do it if it actually ends up being the
See
best
if it works.
idea.
It might be the right
Yeah,
size.
because I look at the charter. He said Moton could become a great left tackle, and this was mentioned in that Reddit thread too. The charter also says Jordan Gross started at right tackle. So this is something to me that I kind of think if
It's not like off the table.
Taylor Moton, and shout out to Sportsnut on Twitter because he brought this to my attention in our Discord. That Taylor Moton bought a house here in Charlotte.
Sportsnut is like, I'm going to tell y'all, you better follow this dude.
Sportsnut is my man.
On Twitter, on Discord, this dude is like got his ear to the ground on football shit. Right? He's my dude. Like I almost just like check his account.
And do a little inside knowledge. He helped me out considerably before the draft because for draft tech, instead of writing them on the spot, I would try and write a few early in the day so I could just copy and paste them. And to be honest, like J.C. Horn would have been my pick at corner. But up until that point, I had no indication that the Panthers were going to pick JC until I saw that Sportsnut said that they were really high on him. And that prompted me to write up a JC Horn a little bit early. So I was ready to go for the podcast that night.
That actually is a beautiful time for me to bring this. Is first, what's his Twitter?
ATX.
ATX.
Something that should come up.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
Or just look up the Sportsnut too.
I know, but like I can't spell. It's like sports. It's got with Z.
But he did.
Put your Twitter in the chat. Put your Twitter in the chat. Sportsnut. If you're, is he here?
I don't see him.
Okay. I wanted to bring this up. Is that I finally did the. I know I'm a jackass. I did the contest winners, right? I went and figured out who won the contest. And let me pull it up real quick. He's getting a prize. He's going to get a prize, but he didn't win. He didn't win entirely. He's going to get a prize, though, because he was the only person that picked the Panthers pick. Like the actual Panthers pick. He picked J.C. Horn. It was Sportsnut that did that. Isn't that cool? Like, that's a badass accomplishment. I was sitting there thinking, like, what should his bonus be? Ultimately, as I did this, I gave people 2 points if they got the player in the right position. 1 point if they got the player in the top 10, but in the wrong slot. And that's how I determined the winner. The winner was, hold on. You have 14 points. He's somewhere in here. Where can I see him? First place here. Rome's. He submitted it through the Discord chat. I sent him a message today. He picked everybody, the entire whole draft. This is how vanilla it was. Every single person got pick 1 and 2 right. He got wrong Jones at 3, but he got Pitts, Jamar Chase, Waddle, Penei Sewell. He got Devontae Smith in the wrong spot, but he got Surtain in the last spot. He pulled in 14 points, so he's going to get the first place prize. I'm going to give all y'all mugs. But look, anybody who got a bonus, anybody who picked Horn, Altman. Also, Altman is in the Discord chat. You can find that link pinned on my Twitter. Join the, I think it's the only Discord live Panthers chat. But look, these guys are holding it down. He picked Horn in the top 10, so I gave him a bonus. Anybody who picked Horn in the top 10, because I felt like not an outsider. But Sportsnut gets tied for second. He was tied for second. He had 13 points. So he missed Lance. He missed Mac Jones. He picked Mac Jones at 3. He picked Lance at 4. So it's a bad start for him. Right? You're like looking at it and you're like thinking here. but he lands Jamar Chase. He lands Penei Sewell. He killed it by picking J.C. Horn. So my man's going to get a special prize for picking that.
By the way, I found my man's Twitter. It's actually even better. His name on Twitter is Tepper's Brass Balls. It's ATH2088 at ATH2088.
All right.
So yeah, that's Sports Nut. Yeah, he gives up. But anyway, he mentioned the home in Charlotte. So that all just leads me to believe that Taylor Bolton is trying to be a part of something a little bit bigger. Maybe he wants to be the franchise left tackle here in Charlotte, and maybe he's wanting to show the organization, hey, wherever you need me to play, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it well. And I love that.
All right, let's go to the
Especially
next
buying
call.
a home in today's market. Let's keep that in mind.
Oh, gosh, that poor guy. I know. It's like getting paid Bitcoin and not selling it. Oh, sorry. Should have sold it. But you know what? If you hold it, can't lose if you don't sell. Kind of thing is Michael, not Michael. Who got it? Wasn't Orr. Who's the other guy? Who's the guy that was Okung? Okung.
Russell, yeah.
Russell Okung is the Bitcoin warrior, but Bitcoin's down. You know what I did? I bought it. And I didn't buy a lot. I bought $50. You know why do I do it? Because I play online poker, and I'm like, man, if I buy $50 here, and then it goes up to 70 or 60, and I send it to the online poker company I play with, I got a discount rate for the $50 I asked for. All right, the number's 252-228-5098. Here's the next call.
What it do, C3? It's your boy, Mike. AKA.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Sorry.
And how did that make you feel?
Yeah.
Quiet.
Damn it. I fucked it up. You know who it is. Oh, shit. Whew. How's your day going, boys? Hope everybody is fine out there in the good old Tampa Nation. Oh. Whew. All right. Way to start it off. Let's see. So I see I'm my wife calls me an impulse buyer.
Sure.
You know, but you know, I see something, I want it. You know, that's how I think everybody should live.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. So I bought my tickets for the Patriots game. Woo, 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 woo. Very excited. Out there in the nosebleeds because them prices though. Oh my God.
I know, dog. I know it, man.
See, my first time back at Bank of America since I think 2000. I want to say, what was it? 16 or 15? It was 16, yeah. 2016. I think it was a Jets game, so should be fun. Not a lot going on. OTA started. That's fun. Oh, here's something to ponder on. I think now they're going to work him as a tight end, but I could easily see Tommy Tremble maybe getting a roster spot at the fullback position because he's such a great blocker. I hear raving things about his blocking, and why not use him out the backfield and on the line with his hands down on the ground? Yeah, sounds great.
I like that.
I think he'd work good back there blocking for Christian. So, yeah. Panther pride till I die. Peace out, my dudes. I'm about to go try not to die.
Hey,
Out.
Appreciate you, bro. Definitely don't die, man. We need that sexy voice and that beautiful head of hair and the cat calls,
Right.
man. Yeah. So, Tommy Tremble being a fullback. You know, that isn't something. I don't know. I have a lot of hopes for Tommy Tremble at tight end. I mean, I think Tommy Tremble can be a legitimate like a come out of nowhere success.
Yeah.
Because it does have all the skills required. Notre Dame didn't necessarily use Tommy Tremble as a real receiving threat at the tight end position. So, and it has all the athletic potential to do it. So, yeah, I mean, I think Tommy Tremble is going to make the roster as a tight end. I mean, frankly, he doesn't have a whole lot of competition at that position anyway. So, yeah, I think Tommy Tremble is going to be really good for us. But, knowing Matt Rule, that's one of the things that has been a big part of his mindset is that he likes players that are position versatile. We're talking about it again. Players that can do more than one thing. And, yeah, if you can put Tommy Tremble in at fullback, yeah, man, let him go. Let him eat up some linebackers for Christian, But I really do think he'll be a good tight end, and I think he could potentially be the best tight end on our roster very fast.
Do you think that we run one fullback draw this entire year?
Yeah, well, that's what the question was. Supreme Leader was asking.
No, about the fullback draw?
But no, could he get a roster spot as a fullback?
Right. But I'm asking you this, do you think we run one fullback draw the entire year? Because there has been a ton of shade that gets thrown on. And again, the shade, I just watched the Twitter conversation. I watched this Panthers creators conversation, bro. It's stressful, man. I'm telling you this. This one dude keeps talking about the Panthers 4-man rush. This man keeps saying, I'm bringing receipt. He acts like he bringing the damn CVS receipt in, where it's like 72 feet long. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like always. It's like, I got to prove you I was right. I said that. It was interesting. But my point is this. One of the things that they always talk shit about was the decision to hand the ball off last year on 4th and 1 with the fullback draw. So my question is does Joe Brady ever run a season? I gotta say the answer is no.
Yeah, probably not on that one. That's knowing Joe Brady and how he is.
It's like a play that's been stricken from the record.
Yeah.
I gotta say this. Maybe I'm getting old.
You're not. Old. You're not. The modern NFL doesn't really do that stuff anymore.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about all this, like, I got to prove to you that I said this 2 years ago, this and that. It's like the internet conversation is and maybe it's probably always been this way, but it's like, let me tell you how I was right and you were wrong, rather than us just actually talking.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't say nothing about it, but I watched these people. It's like, I got receipts. It's just always like, but it's like so stressful, bro. Like, good God. All right.
Let's hit
next call.
AKA Supreme Leaders. There we go.
There you go.
Hey. Oh, I forgot. Hey, I think that would classify you in the Scorpio category. My man, Professor Tony Dunn.
I am Scorpio.
That my birthday is actually on the 5th.
Oh, nice.
Remember the 5th of November. Say that 5 times fast.
Remember the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November.
Anyway.
It's tough.
Remember the 5th of November.
You guys remember where that's from, right?
I'm gonna be there with my jersey.
Hold on. That's from something?
Yeah.
V for Vendetta.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, which is a cult movie. I gotta go back and watch it again. I have watched it like once or twice, but it's been also like.
It is one of those movies, especially in today's world, you have to start like rewatching because you start to like. Anyway,
like the anarchy,
Yeah, you're starting to see a lot of the same patterns, develop in our government and stuff.
Oh,
Not to the extreme that you see in that movie, but it's interesting to see the parallel.
It has a cult following for a reason.
Yeah. There's a reason that Anonymous uses that mask.
By the way, I got positive feedback on our on our little alien discussion
Come on.
last Friday.
All right,
Yeah, man,
from
people
one
liked
person.
it. People liked
From
it.
one fucking far
No,
out
I
person.
still want.
Were they from Mars?
Still,
Unless this mug was a Martian coming saying this was awesome, I don't give a fuck.
hey, bro, how about your boy Barry O is even talking about it more now? So, shit, man.
Really?
They've been. Oh, yes. Where have you been,
Alright,
Tony? No,
okay.
you know what the problem is, Tony? You just live under a rock. You just
Maybe.
live completely under a rock. You haven't seen any of the videos that have come out about UFOs. You're like,
No,
dude,
I don't care about those videos. I
if
care
it's
about
not
the
about my
Baracko
family-
video. I don't give a fuck about the video about the alien. Just give me the Barack. Give me the.
you can see
I'll
Barack
take that.
anytime, man. This is fucking aliens. Forget
All right, let's go
Barack,
back
dude.
supremely. Barack Obama, I'll listen to
I'm gonna
him.
try to drag my wife along.
You lied.
I bought 2 tickets, and she's not really big into football, but she supports me.
I
She's
understand.
from
bro.
Wisconsin, so
Love
you know,
Alan Moore, Kevin.
she's a
Love
Packer,
him.
Packer fan,
Packer.
but she
Ring
rides
big
or dies
Packer.
Cheesehead.
too. So
Packer
we should
fan.
be there cheering both sides of the ball. Unfortunately, I don't care. Cam's my boy. I love my team.
Shout
Love all
out.
you guys. Peace out. Panther Pride till I die.
My man,
Power.
you ain't the only one. A lot of people in the chat been talking about they're grabbing them tickets up. They're asking, look, is that my man said this? Who said it earlier? And I mean, it's a long way. We ain't be able to highlight the comment, but I saw it and I forget who said it, but it said, I'm coming from Canada. And it'll come to my mind in a second. But he said, I'm coming from Canada. He said, is Cam play? And I'm telling you, that's the scariest thing about buying this ticket.
Yeah, you just don't know if
You buy it
it's
right
gonna be
now,
healthy.
you pay the price of what the storyline is, right? Like if you buy the ticket right this moment, you pay the price of the storyline of Cam coming home.
Yeah.
When we get to week 8, that storyline could be the same. And maybe the Panthers, if the Panthers are fucking on fire, bro, like if they're winning in week 9 and they are like 6-2 at that point, going against Cam, coming home, though you won. You're on the right side of the ticket price.
Bro,
Right.
like the thing, I
Mac
don't know if
Jones
you know.
starting, Cam gets hurt in week 8. You're on the wrong side of the ticket price. That's it. That's the story. Or you could wait and you can be on the right side, the wrong side of the ticket price, or the right side of the ticket price and not get a ticket. So at least those mugs are putting their money where their mouth's at. And we gotta go. We're there. I'm gonna be there. And you know what? Even if I don't go into the game, I'm coming to your house, Cody Lashney. If we can't get the handicap, like we have to start a lobby right now for additional handicap seating for Cody Lashney. My man went on the first day trying to buy a ticket.
I mean, there's still
not just this year. This happens every year, and I might, like I said before, I might still have a way to make that game like I did last year. So that might still happen.
You know what? We're gonna petition David Tepper, bro. Like we guys, don't worry. We're gonna start throwing. We're gonna be lobbing.
Bro, we're
some
small
haymakers
fries.
in a moment.
So here's the thing: is there is, like I said, I mean, there are the handicap seating available. Like you can get it right now for $210. Like they have it. The problem is I think
For
we're
the
running
game.
Yeah, like I'm looking at it right now. Like it's not great. Like it's like one of the corner. Like it's in the corner of the.
Well, I was about to say what level.
500 level.
500. That's the
$210 to sit in the upper deck.
I mean, it's you got to remember.
That's what it's
literally
the upper deck.
But you got to keep in mind it is literally the lowest row. That's where he sat last time.
It don't matter. It's the upper deck still, right? 500 levels upper deck.
Yeah, 500 level is the same level he sat on last time.
$210 to sit in the upper deck.
Dude, if we wanted to sit in the very top, like the worst possible seating in the end zone side, or actually let's do the corner. If we wanted to do that, one
under the
single
lights.
ticket, Under the lights, right? And let's see. I can't even find two that are together here. That's the problem. Like, there's a lot of single tickets, but the ones that are together.
Give me a number.
All right. There's one on the
Tell me
complete
what I
opposite
got to
side.
pitch to my fucking
$190.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Hey,
It's gotta come down by then.
it's hard out here for a cripple, bro. I've been trying to tell y'all.
No,
But
you already
this
we only saving $20, and we gotta walk up all those fucking stairs,
Put
homie.
this into perspective. The highest level on let's see, it's not even the 50-yard line. I'd say it's the 30-yard line. The highest row, the farthest away from the field you can possibly get, that ticket's still $175.
That's some bullshit. Is it all right? Give me the week before. Give me a similar seat the week before, because I'm gonna ask this. After you say it, is that the Carolina Panthers put out a tweet, and this was prior to OTAs in the dead time, and they want to know about your first game memory.
Bro, it is absolutely the Cam Newton is the biggest thing of that. Oh, let
What's
me get
the
back
difference?
to it. Because the verified resale aren't showing up. Here, give me just a second. I agree. Filters. Why is is there literally no verified resale tickets on this? Bro, that's insane to me.
You can't go to StubHub. All right, so the Panthers put out this question last week about, like, just on Twitter, like, tell us about your first memory, like your first game memory, like what you remember. But before we get into that, since we're talking about ticket prices, I've been going to Panthers games. My first one was probably gosh, it might not have been until 05 or 06 or something like that. You know, man, it was like around that. Mike Vick was still a star. He was beating her fucking ass all the time. Like, I always went to Falcons games. I don't know why, but I was like, we're gonna be, and they always beat the shit out of us. I was there we were beating them 20 to whatever. It was like 20-14, and Algie Crumpler caught this pass across the 40. This big fat man runs 40 yards down the field past us and win the game. I mean, not to win the game, but ultimately wins the game. I was at the first game I think I was ever at was the one where Mike Vick dove from the 5-yard line. He dove like in a Superman pose. Like, he was completely vertical, like this flat, like this piece of paper, and he hovered above the ground by 1 inch. By 1 fucking inch. I'm telling you, like, the replay showed it. Like, we were like, he's down. He got blasted. He got blasted by, like, Thomas Davis. Like, these 3 people hit him, and he still hovered. Not a single body part fucking touched the ground, beat us, right? So I was there. I went to the Saints game in 2010 before we drafted Cam, where we got blasted 33-3. At that game, we sat on the 45-yard line on the 4th row. The 4th row on the 45-yard line. We stayed to the end. It was brutal. It was fun. It was awesome. The seats were fantastic. So we go the next year. I was like, man, I got a taste of the lower level, right? I got a taste of the good seats that year.
Yeah.
And they were only $45. I remember we paid $45 a tickets because we sucked. So the next year we paid $90, sat in like the corner or something like that, but on the lower level. Cam had his fucking blowout year, was awesome. And then the following year, because it was always a thing. Like, I'm going to go to one game. It's all kind of a longer trip for me. We go take my wife. We spend the weekend with friends, that kind of thing. 2012. Again, like, I got my taste in 2010 of that low level, them good seats. You know what I'm saying? At such a cheap rate. Then it went to 90, 2011, rookie Cam Newton. 2012, we said we're going to see fucking Peyton Manning coming to the house with the Denver Broncos. We paid $250 a ticket for the lower bowl. You know what I'm saying? They were good seats, but they were in the corner, and they weren't the greatest seats, but they were fucking expensive as fuck. And we got fucking shredded, homie. Peyton, man, fucking destroyed us. And I went to this game with a dude who's an accountant in Charlotte, who's a friend of mine who went to college with us and stuff. He's a lot better with his money. He's got a lot more money than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and he looked over at me. This was the next year. It's probably like we were hanging out at his house. We're probably like the next summer or something. We, go there twice a year or something. He says, "Can we not spend $250 on tickets next year?" Like, that's what he said to me. And I was like, oh my God, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, those numbers are sick. Tell me what it is the week before.
It is cheaper the week before, and there's more available.
Not much, is it?
StubHub, like if I went to StubHub, and they have a lot more options here for that game. And so, like, if two sitting together, you can get a row 12 for row 12 in the 500s, which is a lot better than the highs, but it's $228, and that's resale. So keep in mind that
$228.
Yeah.
What, dude? We pay $50. I pay $50 to sit in the upper deck, man. That's what I pay.
Not anymore. Those days are done, bro. Like the price of the upper deck this year is you got to keep in mind too. Like, this is an unprecedented year.
I'm not keeping nothing in mind. It's still the upper fucking deck.
Bro, no, it's like I looked at the week before, and it's the Minnesota Vikings, and that same seat that's at the very top, the worst possible seats you can get, $110.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, actually, here I got here's another good ticket story for you. My wife bought tickets for us one year, and this might have been the year after. It was like we were only a couple of years into doing the thing. Like, it was like we were making, like, we're gonna go every year, right? And we had a kid, Michael, my son. He's 13, so he was like 2 or 3 at this time, maybe like that. So this might have been 2008. He was born in 2008. I mean, I took him as a baby one time. It might have been that. One year we sat, so I let her buy this. She was like, "Here, I got the tickets for you because I want to do this nice thing for you." And it's like, I know that you're trying to do this every year, and we're going to go see Suzanne and Andrew. So she gets the tickets. We get the fucking tickets, and I don't give a I don't look at none of the tickets till I get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we're there, and like we're there. I'm excited. We've been walking, and then we get up and we're walking 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 and we're fucking walking. And this bitch bought us tickets on the top fucking row. The top, like, you could not get. There wasn't nobody behind us.
Yeah.
She paid $20 a ticket for him. $25. It was $25, I think.
I guess you get what you
like,
paid.
and I said this as like, I was like, straight up, is like, I ain't ever letting you buy the tickets again. But now, you know what? I will let her buy the tickets. God damn, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking money. 100. Like, you might as well just go. We might as well just go watch at Cody's house.
Hey, bro, come on through, bro.
All right. Next call, 252-228-5098.
What's going on, C3 Nation? It's your boy Jay Anderson hitting y'all up.
What up, Jay?
I ain't got nothing to say about the Panthers. I just calling it to troll Cody. Like, Cody, I'm not a South Carolina Gamecock fan, but it is time for y'all boys to take that L this coming season. Clemson is going to take the L against South Carolina. I don't know who South Carolina got, but it's time for South Carolina to go ahead and beat y'all. It's just time. I'm tired of y'all Clemson Tiger fans.
Yeah, they ain't got no
like
Trevor
so
Lawrence.
it's time for South Carolina to eat.
We got DJ, right, bro. DJ with young Calais. Like, yo, DJ, I don't know, but you've been sipping on something. You've been sipping on something, bro. And it must be something potent, man. It must be some of that moonshine from the hills, bro. Because, bro, you're in a whole nother world. Bro, tigers don't lose to chickens, bro. Come on, dude. We got DJ Uyunglele. That he's going to be another first overall pick in the next
But
2
pussies
years.
lose to cocks, bro. And that's what happens.
Dude, shut up, Mr. King Tiger. You already know who the
That. I
fucking
know.
king
I know.
is,
I
bro.
should root for. I'm
Come
the biggest
correct.
Clemson Tiger.
Oh,
You're right.
hey,
True
you know
king.
who
True
the
king.
first, you know who Clemson's first game of the season is this year, right?
Please don't say ECU.
Georgia Bulldogs, baby.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
for-
big game to
And
start
dude,
out
I
the
think,
year.
I think it's a Bank of America Stadium too.
No, not
I think
Clemson.
so, man.
No way. Really? Wow.
I want to
Yeah,
say so, dude.
all right,
Am I
next
wrong
call.
about because it's a neutral? Let me look that up.
All right, next call.
Carolina Podcast, how y'all doing? It's G. Cavassier,
What's up,
man.
G?
I know it's been a minute.
I know where you been.
Enjoying the
bro.
show,
Man.
enjoying the show. Hey, man, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for the season to start, man. I really, really, really am, man. And I got faith in Sam Darnold. I really do. And I'm going to be honest because I got called out before. I had faith in Teddy Bridgewater because I liked him when he played for Louisville. But that one caller called me out on some real shit. What did I do was I salute you, brother. I salute you because I really thought, you know, Teddy Bridgewater would be a good backup to Cam Newton. That was years ago, though. But, you know, we all know how that shit handled, you know what I'm saying, how it came out. Man.
That's not a bad take, actually,
But I
still.
believe that Sam Darnold is going to be okay with us, man. I really do, man. That son bitch, he can sling that damn rock, man. I know in the Jets he didn't really have a good offense like that. But with the Panthers, hey. And before I let you go, man, hey, man. I love y'all brothers, man. Y'all like make my day on Tuesdays. Y'all really do, man.
Love
Thank
you,
you, G.
Everybody, you know, CK, Bat Daddy, you know what I'm saying, the professor, you know, Cody, all y'all brothers, just stay safe, man, and always remember, y'all,
Keep pounding,
pounding.
man. Shout out G.
Always
man.
so positive, bro. Always so
Reciprocate
positive.
that
OG
love.
and the OG of this podcast.
That's
I
a
wanna
cat
point that
call
out.
Hall of Famer right there,
Yeah,
man.
it is.
Yep.
G. Cavassier. I love it, man. And G, I'm on your team, bro. I'm choosing to be excited, dude. It's the season for believing, and this dude is believing in the Carolina Panthers, bro. I'm telling you, I'm on Team Sam Darnold. I think Sam is going to be really good this year. I like our team. I think J.C. Horn is going to make our entire defensive backfield play faster. I think Brian Burns is going to have a career year. I think Shi Smith might have been a steal. Tommy Tremble might have been a steal. Terrace Marshall might have been a steal. Deontay Brown might have been a steal. Dude, I am pumped. I cannot remember the last time I was this pumped for Panthers football, man. It was probably the start of that 2019 season, but even then, man, this is a rebuilding football team. It's a new look. It really has a completely different feel to it. And yes, my Tigers get to maul the Bulldogs and destroy them in Bank of America Stadium, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's
Big
go.
Big time update for
I'm tired.
Carolina fans. The Hurricanes tied 2-2 right now, currently against the Nashville Predators. Series 2-2. Oh my gosh. We're back at PNC. We need a win here. Come on, guys. Let's get it together. The number's 252-228-5098. Let's go to the next call.
Hey guys, it's Chuck from Little City.
Oh,
What's up, Chuck?
thank you, Chuck.
These OTAs just started this week here, and looking at our roster, and I think Federer's trying to do a lot like Gettleman. He's turning the bottom of the roster, moving a couple guys around up and down. But I think there's one thing that's definitely apparent. Rules getting those guys in, and you can see it. I think the end of the line is for Will Greer. Ian Thomas is on the fence. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone. Greg Little, he's really going to have to ball out, even at guard. If he doesn't, I think he's gone. J.J. Jensen's probably gone with the drafting of Travis Fletcher. Unless you're McCaffrey or Brian Burns or Taylor Oaten, left over from the Rivera regime, I think it's safe to say that Rule's weeding guys out and putting his own stamp on this team. So let me know what you guys think and who else might stick, who's other than Shaq Thompson maybe, who else might stick to their roster who's there pre-Lee. Thanks a lot, guys.
Lee Trotter is ready to see the full boobs, not the side boob. He says, I'm ready for the season to start. We saw the side boob, which was the OTAs. Chuck, thank you from Elizabeth City. And, it's like, where is Chuck? I was so glad to hear his voice.
Yeah.
And good question there. Who sticks in this roster? We've kind of tended to focus on the guys who are kind of trying to work their way into the roster. The kind of the opposite side of that question is who's trying to stay on the roster. I feel like this team is young and fresh, though. So that makes that a little bit more difficult. J.J. Jansen, again, the easy, I won't say easy name. Actually, I don't even know if that's an easy name. Is my man ain't missed no games. He's been is he an easy name because we drafted this dude late? When did we draft him? Was it in the?
It was like 7th or 8th round, yeah.
Well, for
at the very end, right?
Cut?
Yeah, like who sticks? And I was thinking about this, and there's other ways of asking. It's a different question. I was going to ask you guys, what about the names we haven't heard at this OTAs? I heard Robbie Anderson. He was talking about his first. He responded to the Panthers tweet about his first game. Did you guys see that?
No, I did not.
So the Panthers put out a tweet that says, "Tell us about the very first game you attended." Let me see. I can put it up right now. This is what. And look, is that this is like, I mean, Robbie Anderson wins. He always wins. He says, wasn't no fans at my first Panthers game, felt like practice. And I saw the bear and I scored a touchdown. That was his first game. He said, tell us about the very first game, Panthers game you attended. And Robbie Anderson responded with, wasn't no fans. My first Panthers game felt like practice, and I saw the bear. What's that bear doing? And I scored a touchdown, homie. And he had a good, solid run. But I guess what I'm trying to bring up with here is that I didn't see, I haven't heard Robbie Anderson's name in OTAs. And obviously he is going to stick if we're going to parlay this or connect it to Chuck's call. But I even saw Bilvo saying, "Oh, AJ Bouye going to be some good depth." Who's the winner? Almost is Ian Thomas the winner because he has to stick. Like, do we have enough tight ends for him to stick? And
no,
I'm not ready to give up on him.
I mean, this is my thing. Your grace period has gone out the window for me. So once upon a time, I was excited about Ian Thomas, but now it's like, bro, what have you done for me lately? He hasn't really proven dominant as a receiver or as a blocking tight end. Now, we kind of felt that this was a little bit due to Ron Rivera just not giving him enough snaps, but that didn't really change too much under Joe Brady, and I kind of don't think it's going to. Now that we brought in Dan Arnold, now that we have Tommy Tremble, yeah, I kind of think he's going to end up being the odd man out. And as of right now,
we have to have 3, though. I mean, we need 3. Like, who's the 4?
And maybe if it's a numbers thing, then maybe he makes the cut. But I think we're going to have more offensive linemen on the roster this year than we've had before. And I think we're probably going to add more safety help before we start the season. So I think there's going to be an odd man out somewhere. I don't think Brandon Zylstra is making the roster. I don't think Ian Thomas is making the roster.
I like that. I thank you for finally saying it.
Yeah, it's like it is what it is. And what's the guy that everybody was excited about that we signed from Penn State? He ran like a 4.3 something, and he's like 6'4".
No, it's not from Penn State.
Like
he came from Zach Wilson's joint.
Oh, BYU, that's right. No, you're right. Yeah. But like, that's another guy. Like,
he might be, but you know what? He might make it more than Zylstra. No, I don't know. He's practice squad material?
Maybe. I mean, listen, there's already reports of Shi Smith going up and making crazy plays at the back of the red zone, man.
But he's little.
Yeah, so what? He's the perfect Curtis Samuel replacement, and he's probably going to be
not a problem with that. But the guy from BYU was 6'3". Like he might be one of these gems we get.
Maybe, but he went undrafted, so it's like.
Well, he went undrafted because he didn't get to work out last year because of COVID. He didn't get a pro day. They didn't have a combine, and he was at BYU. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like on the. Like he might have been one of those players that goes to the combine, shows like these crazy stats, like he's 6'2", you know what I'm saying? He runs a 4.3, he does this and that, and then he gets a pro day. That's the thing that hurt people that were kind of on the bubble. You know, the last year's draft, and maybe even arguably this year's draft, were very vanilla in what you had to go from. You know, you couldn't, and in one way, it's almost like, how do we find Jeremy Chin? That's an interesting question. Like, is no pro days, right? We got Jeremy Chin last year. Did they have that would be a fantastic question for someone to track down. Did he have a pro day? He didn't go to the combine. So how did they learn about him? And that's the thing, is that there are so many players and so many this and that. And even we see these organizations kind of get sucked into looking at those same people. So I'm not saying he's going to come in here and be a baller, right? I'm not saying that, but could he have been a 6th-round pick and maybe forced his way onto a roster somewhere or made his way? Like, now we got him for a discount price, and you put him on the practice squad, and maybe he becomes something, maybe he doesn't. And I don't even know the dude's name, so he can't even be something. Hold on. Panthers sign BYU wide receiver. Let me see who he is. Micah. His name is Micah Simon. He had a big giant game against Tennessee. He ran a 4.34. Let me just put it that way. Oh. And let me see how tall is Michael
He's
Simon?
He's like 6'3".
What is 5?
Thanks for joining us as always.
Tell me about. Is he 6'3"?
I think so. Listen. My point is, he's nothing to me. He means
nothing.
Right.
No, you shouldn't get crazy about it. But like, what if he was? Right? What if he becomes like? Yeah, he's on the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Zylstra, Micah Simon 6'1", Zylstra 6'2", Keith Kirkwood, which I think he might still be on the Panthers roster, 6'3", Dan Arnold 6'5", which is a tight end. But still, I mean, like, I root for these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I root for the dudes. Like, and maybe that's what makes you a great team, is when you find a guy who was undrafted and that should have been drafted. When you find a guy who was a 3rd-round pick that should have been a 1st-round pick.
Andrew Norwell was an undrafted free agent.
Right. All right, next call.
Yo, play this right now, bro. QP0 right here. Hey, Green Bay, breaking news, by the way. Green Bay has just traded Jordan Love, random tight end, a 2022 2nd round, a 3rd round for Julio to the lamest Jones.
please
Did he just say that he was a tight end?
this message if you have not heard it already, or just look on Twitter.
All right.
Man,
That is
clowned on that one.
By Barry McCockery. I don't know.
Barry
Ultra
McCockner.
weed hater. This is his name.
McCorkle.
No, he got trolled by the account
Check that, man.
Barry
Check that.
McCockner.
He does screaming at me.
And now he's figuring it out as he's on the call.
He's realizing
all right. So there's the cat calls right there. You're listening to the longest running Panthers podcast. The number is 252-228-5098. You can be a part of the show by calling in, being a part of the chat room. Please smash the thumbs up button. Tell a friend about the show. Hit the little bell alert. Whatever you do, it's very simple as this. Is even if you don't watch, just like, share, subscribe, this, and that. Because we know that we're all trying to weave our way into your brains, and we need your help doing that. I don't know if there's anything. Oh, the only other thing that I have to talk about is this video about Teddy and Drew Lock.
Yes.
Can you put it up, Cody? Put it over our faces. We'll make it all look awkward. It'll look awkward over us, just like it looks awkward on the film.
Here, I can unmute both of us.
Because you couldn't hear me then?
No, we couldn't hear you. It mutes you when you play the video.
All
but
right, play it again. Oh my God.
I did. We need to set it up. This is Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. Drew Lock is on the left and Teddy Bridgewater is on the right, and you can note the difference in velocity and the difference between the two balls.
This is from a Denver Twitter, like a Denver reporter. And he said this. So he put this up. He said, why? He said, dang, Drew Lock's ball goes 10 times faster than Teddy Bridgewater's.
If you're Teddy Bridgewater,
And I know, look, it's a warm-up.
Aren't you embarrassed by now hearing nothing but how little your arm is?
What are the Teddy Bridgewater fans going to come out and say? It's a warm-up. Teddy won't trying to throw it hard. Drew Lock stepped back 4 more. That's what they're going to say. This is Drew Lock dropped back 4 more yards. So he put more mustard on it. That's what they're going to say. And you know what? Maybe that's all right. It's not right. It's not right. Sorry, bro. The natural zip. That doesn't mean that Drew Lock's a better quarterback. But I tell you, what we're trying to tell you is the arm talent of Teddy Bridgewater was just not enough to be great. Not even to be good. You saw the best Teddy Bridgewater last year. There is no better Teddy Bridgewater than you saw. And look, I mean, he did have a lot of yards. There was a ton of yak. But that's it. Like, that's the best. I'd challenge anybody to come up here and tell me that we're going to get much better than that.
I mean, like,
You think, all right, well, we get a little better offensive line, so what? His completion rate goes up a hair.
Dude, I'm so tired of talking about this fucking
guy. But what I'm trying to say is this. That's the whole point. It's not been a shitting on Teddy Bridgewater. It's been saying that's the best you're going to get. And look, Drew Lock's, like, this motherfucker's out there just casually tossing the ball. And these are Denver reporters saying this, not us.
Yeah. And by the way, this is one we have to pat ourselves on the back. C3 above just about all the Panthers podcasts was out here telling you
I'm the beginner,
that
bro.
Teddy Bridgewater ain't it. Teddy Bridgewater is not the guy that's going to bring us to the place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, this is the difference between the start of last year and the start of this year. We were saying last year, dude, we don't believe in Teddy Bridgewater at all because we have no reason to. But hope we're wrong Whereas now we're like, okay, dude, Sam sucked in New York, but he has a ton of talent, and there's a bunch of things that he can do well. Now we think that he can, turn it around.
We're
gonna give him
hoping,
the
and
same
not even
chance.
think,
We're
but
hoping
we
that he's
hope.
going to prove us right. And that's the difference. Like, there is something to believe in. Like, now you can at least see what it could look like with Sam Darnold, who was in consideration to be the number 1 overall pick at one point in time. So, again, man, yeah, it's like it's common knowledge now. Everyone on ESPN and Fox News, everyone's come around to it, dude. Teddy Bridgewater is a backup quarterback at his very, very best. Okay, he has probably thrown the most touchdowns that he ever will in a season already.
That's bad.
I don't think he's ever breaking 15, bro. So
let me ask
whatever.
you this: as my boy asked me this, and he's actually Chandler was here. You guys saw him on the draft party. He's on the radio show that I go on every Friday, Pirate Radio 1250. 1250 is their old handle. Then now they're 92.7. They got 1250 still. Pirate Radio. He asked me this. They brought this up, and this is like the last. We're done. We ain't got no more calls, so this is like kind of in the show, and I want to kind of just bring this up here. As he said, I've been getting a lot of notifications on my personal Twitter about Derek Anderson.
What forever could it be?
Oh, I know. I'm blocked on my on our C3 Twitter by Derek Anderson. And I've been blocked since like 2012 by that asshole. And I don't even care what his attitudes and opinions are, but he's so forceful. And man, this dude he will not stop talking. Like, it's so virulent. Is that the right term? Virulent? I feel like I'm tired. It's late, but like everything's like, you rat fuck. You did, like, it's just so tough. But my boy said this, he said he liked Derek Anderson. I never liked Derek. I was like not a Derek Anderson fan. And look, and part of that, again, just like the Teddy Bridgewater thing, goes back to, had nothing to do with Derek Anderson, but this clan of fucking Panther fans, which one of my friends deemed as Ford F-150 Twitter fans, which was wonderful, and it stuck. It became like a national thing, my man. Like, but he was like, like those people would always be like, oh, well, if we put in Derek Anderson, we would have been like, today we would have won this game. And I fucking hated those people. So I hated those people. I hated Derek Anderson. Full disclosure, full transparency. Like, when it comes to them, Derek Anderson has been going nonstop on the political game. Nonstop. And it's almost to the point where, all right, so this is where I was like, long circle back. My boy said this. He was like, I said, I hate fucking Derek Anderson. Like, I hated him then. It's not the political crap now. I hate him then. He said, he loves every Panther there. Like, he ain't ever had a Panther he didn't like. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I liked him when he was there. And he goes, I love Derek Anderson. And they said this. He was the best backup quarterback in the NFL. And I said, I don't give a fuck. What does that mean? What does being the best NFL backup mean? And that was my question back to him. And I don't really, and I know like that, like to you guys, you're like, what? Like, well, what is it like? Okay, like, if you had the best, like, does the best backup truly help you? It only helps you in the most minuscule of opportune moments where you need 2 games. That's it. But other than that, what is the best backup? It's a motherfucker holding a clipboard that everybody thinks could be good.
I'll tell you the two
A backup
best,
ain't a starter, homie.
it's not a starter, but the two best examples of what you would want a backup to be is either Nick Foles, a guy that can come in and do what he did in the Super Bowl.
One time in history.
No, then what I think is the more
fucking time in
reasonable,
history.
the more reasonable
Jameis
example.
Winston.
No, last year I forget the guy's name. When the Browns and
awesome.
the Chiefs played in the AFC divisional game, Patrick Mahomes was out at the very end for something, and his backup had to step in and made like a big third down conversion.
Right. Is he the best backup in the NFL?
No, but I'm saying
I feel
like,
like
that's all
it's
you,
the stupid conversation
that's all you
to have.
want. Like is a
Right,
backup
right,
that
right.
can come in.
Yeah,
But if we
when you need it,
ranked
yeah.
the backups of what my whole point is this: if we ranked the backups of the fucking NFL, guess what they ain't? Starters. Like so, like who get like you want to raise your hand and like and that's the thing is this and I'm not, but like what kind of title is that? I'm the best backup in the league. You know the best backup in the league is? I'll tell you this, the best backup quarterback in the league is the one that don't ever got to play. That's the fucking real truth to that goddamn answer, because I will remind you that all you motherfuckers that said Derek Anderson is the goddamn best backup in the league, and this motherfucker will come in and he could do a better job than Cam. Remember when Ron Rivera punished Cam Newton for not wearing a tie, and we go to Seattle, and his punishment was he was benched for the first series. Guess what Derek Anderson did?
Through a pick six.
First play. I think it was a pick six. If it wasn't a pick six, it was like a pick on the 20. You're right. That's it. Yeah, no, exactly, bro. I'm telling you, fuck that whole best backup. Like, who's got the best backup? I want a backup that exists. Fuck that.
I want a backup that exists.
Are we,
I don't want him playing, man. If I wanted him playing, he would be starting. Sorry. That's just the case.
all right, what do we got left to talk about?
That's it.
What's
That's it.
on the we're good? We don't have no
We're
more
done.
calls?
No, it's done. But now we got to ice some mugs up. That's it.
Damn. This is actually going to be a rare short
It's
show.
11:11. You want me to put them up?
Put them up. Oh, that is right. It's 11:11, man.
Try
And,
to.
and look, Joey finally got the chance to stay up late for the whole show, and here we are packing it in early, dude. What's this world?
No, we're
coming to,
not
man?
early. It's way too long. We should have been done an hour ago. All right.
Do the ice.
All right. What else? That's it. Well, who you want to ice up?
Who you want to ice up?
I had a good ice up, but I always forget it. Like I always got all this shit going on.
I know,
I'm trying to
same
think about
thing.
the show, this and this and that, and this and that. So I had a good ice up earlier. Maybe it was backup core. Look, I'm icing. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna ice up this is that we're having a pool put in our yard, like an in-ground pool. And I know you're like, oh, no, don't worry. We're paying for it for the next 20 years until I refi and trying to find a way to make some money. And I got a Dogecoin and I got some other games I got to win.
Sell
for
all
this
your crypto.
Yeah, like I got some shit that's got to go down. But look, this is what happens when you got good credit. You got good credit and you pay your bills on time, homie. Is that you can finance a lot of fucking shit. And that's what I did. Finance this shit. So we built import my wife. My wife wants it. I got 3 kids. Anyway, so we started this process in October of last year. And COVID has caused a lot of problems for supply chains and demand. So I understand that. Like, so these pool people, they've been great. We went with this family company. They actually do tremendous work. Like the physical work is beautiful and gorgeous. and quality, but their business communication skills are on the lower side. And it's not like a language barrier, even though, like, you know, it's not a language barrier. It's just like this. It's just like there's zero communication about anything. Anyway, so we're supposed to have all this shit put in. My wife is a bot. Like, we're going to go bankrupt. If we go bankrupt, the only thing my friend told me was this, is they can't repo your pool at least. You're right. You're right. They can't. They could repo our house. We're all sitting around the pool in the backyard, I guess. They have to fill it in with sand. Anyway, it has been a long, disastrous of a project. Not disaster. That's the wrong word. It's been a long look, is that it started in October. We give people a lot of money. It's supposed to be happening a couple months later. Doesn't happen. They start... Like, you're starting to get nervous, this and that. But not nervous, but like you're actually at one point we were starting to wonder if people ran off with your money. You know, after like 4 or 5 months of not seeing or hearing or talking or anything like this. Ultimately, this is they started late March, April, something like that. And look, they guaranteed that my kids would be swimming by May 1st. They ain't swimming. And they ain't swimming, and my wife is fucking pissed because when they gave her that May 1st deadline, she's a planner, bro. Like this should be planning. Like, my wife got plans for 2028 already. I promise you. So she pushed back her little party, which is actually going to turn into a giant COVID pool party. So she pushed this back from which originally was supposed to be on May 13th or something, whatever the Saturday is around there. She then pushed it back to Memorial Day. And we did this early. Like, we did this early April. You know, like, we knew this shit wasn't going to happen. I said, look, you got to go ahead and do this. They said May 1st. Give them some time. This, blah, 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 blah. My kid's birthday. My kid was like, I want to have my birthday. Oh, nope. Well, every day these motherfuckers will be like, we're waiting on the liner. I'm waiting on that. Well, like, it's just, they said it was going to be here today. And they said like this. They guaranteed us May 10th. Then they like, it's just this. Guess what? Motherfucker. She had to push it back again. And so I'm icing up this pool company because I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, I'm already broke. I'm already bankrupt. They are like, look, CK is going to be calling me in a couple of months. I promise you. CK, you will be calling me soon. And I will negotiate a price with you. But my wife is fucking pissed, bro. She's like mad, sad. It's not even mad anymore. Sad, and this and that. So too, COVID supply chains that then create giant excuses or whatever. Yeah, I say ice up. That's it.
All right, ice up. Yeah, I just found my ice up pick, but I think this is pretty embarrassing. So I'm icing up basketball in the NBA, dude, because the PGA Championship ratings crushed.
Well, that's
NBA
because old Phil, lefty, the
southpaw went whopping 50% more viewers than any NBA game. Dude, I don't give a damn what it's for. You couldn't pay me to watch golf, dude. I'm sorry. I need my sports to have violence, okay? And if it doesn't have some form of violence, I get bored real fast, dude. So, dude, especially golf, like, dude, how bad must the NBA be if golf, I mean, and not just beat out the NBA by a little bit, but crush them with 50% more viewers than any NBA game? Dude, that's bananas to me. I think that's probably an indicator of the state of basketball right now. And let this be the lesson that football is and will always be king. So, to the NBA, that's up.
Ice up. The Carolina Hurricanes just pull off the victory to pull ahead 3-2 in the series. Look at this. Carolina sports guy hits him with the Canes win.
That's Chuck, by the way.
Jordan Stahl scored. Look, I'm telling you, if this team don't win the fucking cup, it's a bust, bro.
Yeah.
And the reason is they are the best Canes team I've ever seen, and that's including the Stanley Cup team. CK, you got ice up for us?
I do, and you guys already probably saw it on my Twitter. So I am in the process of upgrading my PC. I have a new CPU, a new case, a new motherboard, and a liquid cooler for the CPU.
Oh, I heard this story.
Amazon, instead of sending me one liquid cooler, they sent me 8, and these are $180 a piece. Okay, so I have now 8 liquid coolers, and instead of just the one. And so it's real simple. Ice up, Amazon. Ice up. That's think about that. That's $1,200 worth of unpaid for merchandise that they just shipped to me. And I'm not required to send it back. Am I going to send it back? Yeah. But it's there's plenty of people that wouldn't have done that. There are plenty of people out there that would have used that to pay for these upgrades. Like witness, hey, listen, these are normally $180. I'm selling them for $100 a piece. Get $700 out of it. Bam, just paid for the upgrades. Done. Right, easy as pie. But I'm not going to do that. Ice up, Amazon.
All right. Well, ice up, CK.
Oh, by the way, look at Sports Nut in the chat. Yo, Sports Nut, rewind this video like an hour maybe, and we massage your shoulders for like 15 minutes, bro, about being the newsbreaker guy, man.
My dude. All right.
We even give out your Twitter handle too, bro.
C3 Panthers Podcast, longest running Panthers podcast, where every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. Not journalists, just fans and fanatics trying to let you know what we are talking about. And I promise you, that's what the journalists are talking about as well. Join in the conversation at 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Leave a review. Tell somebody that you listen to the show. That is a big deal. Look, is that go out there, and I know it's a small thing, but you see somebody that you talk on Twitter, on Facebook, and you know that they like the Carolina Panthers, say, look, I'm part of this community. Not that I listen to this show, but I'm part of this community. We have a Discord chat. You can find that in the show notes on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching the show, as well as pinned on my Twitter account at @cat_chronicles. You can find Cody at where?
At Cody Lack, CODYLAC on Twitter. That's mainly it right now. All my other stuff is kind of on hiatus. So yeah, hit me up on Twitter at Cody Lack, CODYLAC.
And the bestest voice in gaming. Tell us,
voice, bro. You can find me on Facebook gaming at fb.gg/CoDizzleAllen. So yeah, come show some love. Let me know you're in chat, and let me know you're from C3, man.
I want more of those life videos, bro.
The what?
The life videos about
your motivational vids.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
No, dude, like that was. I'm all in.
Yeah, man, I like.
Did you see Roberto? My man Roberto retweeted or liked it. That dude is a giant fucking YouTuber, homie. The guy
really?
that, yeah, dude, he's fucking enormous, and he liked your video where you were talking about success, consistency.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, bro. Like that's his. I'll go find it and send it back to you.
Yeah,
my man,
no
he's an enormous YouTuber too. Like I mean, like bigger than like to the moon type.
What's his name?
Guy.
Who's his name?
I think it's Hold on, Robert. Hold on, let me look at Robert.
Appreciate you, Grayson. Says been watching for 2 years now. Love y'all.
God damn. Of course, I'm look it up right now, and I can't. Roberto Blake, actually. So Roberto Blake, and look, how about that? Is I'm following him. He may have used to follow me. He has 46.5 thousand followers.
Damn,
he's a big dude. Like, actually, he was one of the dudes that like I listened to when I was getting into YouTube and stuff like that. Telling you. So Roberto Blake, he liked your tweet, bro. I saw it. It was a big deal. It's a big deal. All right. 252-228-5098 C3 Panthers Podcast at @cat_chronicles. Check out Code Dizzle, Allen, the bestest, and in my opinion, the best voice in streaming right now. Cody Lashney, my man, the man of the people, not the man of the people, but the favoritist people of the podcast. We can't call it that. Man of the people, Charlotte Vibe. I actually saw one tweet from him today. Like, he might be alive. Like, I almost feel like he was kidnapped.
Did you see what his post was? He made a YouTube about where he's been.
No, I have not at all. I gotta go. I'll go watch it. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, I'm
all right. That's the show. Let's get the hell out of here. Like, subscribe, be a part of the show. We'll check in the Discord. We'll check you out next Tuesday night plus more. Get us out of here.
Keep pounding. Later, boys.